What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Nature's Jewels channel. This is Mr. Crawlings coming at you with the Tesla Terrarium. That's what we're calling this. In a lot of my builds, I'm trying to pioneer the field, and by no means is this a way that you should actually keep these plants. This is a trial by error, and we're shooting in the dark here. But for the most part, from my studies, what I've understood with these plants is they like bright indirect light, they like distilled water only, they prefer a arid or dry surface. They actually do not like their bulbs to be very, very wet. So this media seems to work the best, and it worked best in the pots that the grower provided. He actually recommends having something similar to an orchid pot with the air holes all the way around, filled with sphagnum moss, which we have here in the top two layers of this section. And then in the bottom lower level, we have a drainage field of just basic aquarium gravel. Now in there as well, we have a little bit of carbon, but that's for the springtails to help with any of the root fungal problems that we might have, keeping it in a little bit damper conditions like these. So we definitely recommend filling with distilled and watering with distilled water only. Now if you want to just keep these guys on your countertop, and like I said, that orchid pot, keep it in a glass container with a very shallow amount of distilled water. Using tap water is definitely not recommended. If you use tap water, there's one of two things that can occur. The heavy metals and minerals that are found naturally in your tap water in your area could damage the root system, actually cause some really severe burning of the roots and cause the plant to wither and die from that. Not only that, tap water naturally has higher and lower levels of chlorine depending upon where you are. So if you're not using well water and you are using city tap water, there are varying levels of chlorine in that water, and that's not safe for the plants as well. So distilled water is definitely recommended. So we use about a ½ inch of distilled water in the lower media, and through evaporation it wicks up into our sphagnum moss layers, which provide adequate moisture for the root systems, and the sphagnum moss is actually an inhibitor to root growth. So by wicking up the water and having a dark, damp conditions with the sphagnum moss, it should increase our growth on our root systems. Now we've gone a little bit different direction, as you've seen in the title of this video, with our Tesla Terrarium, because we ordered off of the Amazon site a mini Tesla coil kit. This kit is great. It costs around $30 about the time of this video, and it's amazing. It has a little transistor in there, a little resistor, small copper coil fitted with what looks to me as a washer, as a emitter. This is powered simply by using a 9-volt battery, which we have here. And if you're limited to where you want to place this type of terrarium, if you do decide to do one yourself, like I said, it's trial by error. So we're giving it a shot in the dark. These plants actually are doing really well so far in this setup, but only time will tell how well they flourish. So with this simple setup, use a 9-volt battery, and you're just going to simply connect it to the positive and negative lines for this system. In this terrarium, we have 2 Venus flytraps and 1 Cape Dew sundrop plant, which is also a carnivorous plant as well. I definitely recommend using compact fluorescents, and for that we have a simple 13-watt compact fluorescent U-shaped tube here. And because of the gases that are naturally found in the fluorescent tubes, this seems to work best with the Tesla coil kit. Now an incandescent bulb I've tried on this kit, it does not put enough power out for it, and using LEDs can be administered, but with some extra electrical knowledge. So as you can see, this is not plugged in, it's not hooked up to anything, we don't have any other additional wires going through. And with the low lighting levels that these plants require, this should suffice in the evening hours or early mornings when you want to supplement light. You also want to keep this lid off because they do prefer, like I said, much more air conditions. They do not like it really, really humid. So if you have like a ceiling fan in your room, placing this near a window without getting too close to drafts is definitely recommended. But I'm just going to simply show you how this amazing Tesla terrarium works. Now, like I said before, it's not plugged into anything. We have the Tesla coil about 1/4 inch away from the surface of the glass. We found the optimum range of this Tesla coil to be between 1/4 to 1/2 inch away from the coil itself. So I'm going to simply put this over the top once you've connected the 9-volt battery, and as you can see, it lights up, and it does a great job for this little terrarium. Inside you can see that the lights actually helping with a little bit of photosynthesis in the plants, helping them synthesize the chlorine in the tissues to produce the sugars to encourage the growth. And science is providing that through this tiny Tesla coil. And it's just super fun, super awesome. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I know I've enjoyed building it. Through trial and error, we were able to achieve this effect. And this is actually going to my brother as a present. And I hope he really enjoys this because this is right up his alley with the science and the biology of things. So, once again, thank you for joining me on Nature's Jewels channel. This is Mr. Crawlings signing out. Later.